The mayor and several of his aides and various important people from across the city and staff all stood around as the crowds watched a massive peach hanging high in the air. The lights and the scenery and music were slowly picking up as the multitudes milled about, awaiting the big moment when the clock did what it always does anyway. The bike blasted through the streets. He blew past a red light, then amped up the speed even further. "I'm surprised I'm not getting pulled over or chased yet," Blue said into the mic.
"The cops are all probably guarding the event, or at least the ones who are getting a break."
"Wait, because they earned it?"
"Discipline duty usually is holiday or rookie duty,"
Knight stated, wondering where this was going.
"Then Marco's about to clean house for mayhem, and is betting most seasoned or decent cops go with it. He's going to take a chunk out of the force, too."
Blue pulled into an alley not far back from the event square before the piles of people kept the bike from moving faster than speeds of 3, and before the police barricades for the loitering pedestrians. He grappled up to the roof of a nearby building for a good view and stepped up to the ledge.
"I don't see any goons. Then again, it's hard to spot anything suspicious in this mass of drunken people crammed in here together." "He may be working alone,"
Knight commented.
"Okay, so, time to spot the aerosol dispersal method."
Blue scanned back and forth. Then he noticed the stage was boiling fog and missed the stage lights.
"Wait. The fog machines. That could be it." "Well, do I just hop down there and take it out? If I fire anything from here, it sure will clear the place out, or cause a possible watcher to trigger something horrible early." "It's already freezing out now. It could happen at any moment." "Wait a minute. It's quiet."
Then Blue noticed. No one was moving very much.
"It's already begun. We need to start something, and we need to get everyone moving right now."
Blue thought for a second. Then he pulled out his grapple and fired it right at the Christmas tree in the center of the event. It latched on and ornaments fell and busted. Several police moved their heads painfully slowly in the direction of it all. Blue zip-lined down and leapt from the line onto the stage. He then grabbed a boomerang off his belt and started slicing the cords to the fog machines. The policemen started making painfully slow, sluggish movement toward him, as if they were on drugs or barely motivated to live.
"Okay, time to really get the adrenaline going."
And he nabbed a gun from a cop's holster and fired it into a safe place in the stage. Several people moaned out slow voices as if trying to cry out in fear.
"Never mind. That's not doing it. Do we have anything else? Otherwise these people will just lay down and turn solid." "There is one thing."
Blue paused at Knight's hesitation.
"Halloween."
"You synthesized some of that gas?"
"Just in case. And only then if you needed to get away."
"Tell me it's on me."
"No. It's in the bike, in a sealed canister in one of the saddlebags."
Blue paused at the revelation that this was made without his knowledge, then ran for the zip line and retracted back to the roof. He made his way back to the bike, grabbed the canister, grappled back up to the top of the building, and then opened it wide and threw it into the center of the stage. It burped its own horrible fog and slowly dispersed. Nothing happened at first. Then people began to move, slowly at first. Their eyes grew wider and more fearful. Then they started to back away, and the more the gas dispersed, the more they all started to shift away from the platform. The mayor himself and the chief turned around and started making their way off the stage.
"I think it's working, and everyone's too cold and sluggish to panic as a whole mob." "No!"
Marco threw his plastic cup at the barred TV screen displaying the New Year's event.
"No, no, no, no! This wasn't supposed to happen! Now he will get her for sure! And me!"
The guards looked at him with a mild but partially interested expression of, "Is that a confession?" Marco suddenly looked nervous and sat down again to his meal. Kathy slowly blinked her eyes open. The doctors and nurses sighed a breath of relief as she looked about, dazed. "She's back," the doctor said. Keep applying the cure to the other patients and let me know of any issues. I need to see the New Year's incident patients for some odd, sluggish, and anxious behavior from the event, apparently. Happy New Year, everyone. Later that morning, Kathy looked up to the TV to see the news showing the Blue Shadow hacking at fog machines and firing a gun, and then throwing a smoke bomb. She unmuted the TV. The hero, rumored to be called the Blue Shadow, assaulted the New Year's event just earlier for unknown reasons. Investigators are still looking into the motives for why he attacked the fog machines and tried to make everyone leave. Maybe he just hates New Year's, Carol. Oh, those dumb real-life superheroes. Right? This isn't some kind of stupid cartoon convention, Ron. There's another warrant out for his arrest for stealing and firing a police weapon, destroying public property, and assaulting the mayor and bystanders with an unknown gas. Any tips should be made to this hotline. Kathy frowned at the screen. Stupid news reporters. They'd know something if they weren't bought off and coked out. Healing well? A familiar voice spoke into the lonely, sterile room. Kathy looked over to Scott as he peeked in the door. She muted the TV. Yes, thanks. She smiled. A moment passed between them. Scott nodded. Good. Another moment, as no one really seemed to know what to say, but the silence and the fact that they were both happy the other was there was enough. But Kathy soon broke it. How is the mayor and his son? Oh, I just checked on them. They were released earlier. A little nerves, nothing serious. Oh. Good. Kathy said. More silence. Well, I should, go. Keep healing up, Kathy. I'll wait for your call. He smiled respectfully and closed the door. She smiled lovingly at the closed door, or rather the man behind it, and then looked back up at the TV. Later, a dressed Kathy stepped out of the hospital and made her way to the curb. An older car rolled up. Jet Phoenix stepped out. Well, miss, it seems you need a ride. Only the best for the healing? Only the best. She stepped in, and Adam got in next to her. Night Shadow in civilian attire drove up front. Well then, you two. You've had a busy Christmas. It isn't over yet, Adam corrected. That it isn't. Night returned with a smile and turned on some music. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but oh, so delightful. Played as they drove off into the falling snow. Elsewhere, a prison guard strolled down the hallway, checking in on prisoners during the night watch. He whistled as he made his way down the dark corridor. He made sure to give a light sadistic tap to the sculptor's cell to make sure he didn't get a complete night's sleep. But as he passed by, he saw in the dim a rather large, oddly colored shape, and the man sitting up in bed. Having trouble sleeping? Good. Maybe next time you'll think twice before trying to off a bunch of cops and the mayor. No response. Back in the lair. So the letter was the address to Ulfric's lab that Marco was using to make his freezing tech? And we were the insurance Mayhem cashed in on in case he got out of line? Kathy recapped. Yes, though, knowing Mayhem as well as we do, I don't think we're the only insurance he took out. Back in the prison. Oh, nothing to say, prisoner. Answer me! Not a budge came from inside the cell. What is this? A blanket fort? The prison guard turned on his flashlight to see what the mass in the dark was. What the? His light revealed the bunk was mostly frozen in a massive chunk of ice, the shadow of Marco terrified, frozen inside. Back in the lair. Here, Adam, I got you this. Kathy dropped a gift into his lap as he scanned screens. He managed to tear his eyes away from them and the data they displayed and looked down. Thanks a lot, he said in a strange voice as he imitated a dad from a certain Christmas movie. But I didn't get you anything, Adam realized as he had been too busy with almost losing himself and his life and her to even think of presents.
Yes, you did. My life.
Kathy added wholesomely. Adam half smiled with a slight chuckle as they had a moment, and then he took another moment to observe the wrapping and effort and care that was put into it, and then opened it. Inside was a book.
The Theology of Martial Science by William Clark.
Adam smiled. He thanked Kathy and looked down at it, but his mind was soon elsewhere, wondering if she had gotten it. Somewhere, where there was a pair of small hands diligently typing away at some work, a small package suddenly came into view on the desk. The small hands stopped and approached it. It lay upon a card. It was blank except for the inside that said, "Merry 12th Day of Christmas." Upon picking it up, it said on the attached tag, "For Lucia, from Jet." She caressed it lovingly, and then opened the very small box. A gasp. Inside were 2 unmatching earrings, one a purple dragon with emerald eyes, the other a small silver owl with sapphire eyes. Then she closed it and held it close to her heart.